Welcome to today's Useful AI Hacks Tech Update on the most impactful stories in the world of artificial intelligence. In today's video, we'll explore groundbreaking partnerships, strategic moves by major AI players, and the latest technological advancements shaping the AI future. Let's dive into the top AI stories making waves right now. Our first story highlights a seismic shift in AI partnerships. Meta, the parent company of Facebook, has finalized a $14.3 billion investment for a 49% stake in Scale AI, valuing the data labeling startup at $29 billion. This is Meta's second largest investment after WhatsApp, signaling the company's urgent drive to catch up with AI rivals like Google and OpenAI. What makes this deal especially notable is that Scale AI CEO Alexander Wang will join Meta to lead its new superintelligence division, bringing with him a business-focused approach that contrasts with the research-heavy leadership styles common in AI labs. Scale AI's expertise lies in providing massive amounts of high-quality labeled data, an essential ingredient for training advanced AI models such as Meta's Llama and OpenAI's ChatGPT. This partnership not only gives Meta a technological edge, but also potentially offers insights into the data strategies of its competitors, since many leading AI labs have historically relied on Scale for their own model development. The move comes as Meta seeks to overcome setbacks with its Llama 4 model, which initially fell short of expectations, and to revitalize its AI efforts with fresh leadership and resources. Despite Meta's massive buy-in, OpenAI's CFO, Sarah Friar, has publicly reaffirmed that OpenAI will continue its partnership with Scale AI. Speaking at the VivaTech conference in Paris, Friar emphasized that OpenAI values a diverse ecosystem of data providers and does not intend to freeze the ecosystem by cutting ties with Scale, even as Meta becomes a major shareholder. Scale AI's role as a provider of curated, high-quality training data remains crucial for OpenAI's development of models like ChatGPT. The company's network of human trainers includes experts from fields such as history and science, reflecting the increasing specialization required to advance AI capabilities. This ongoing collaboration highlights the complex web of alliances and rivalries in the AI industry, as companies balance competition with the need for shared resources and innovation.
Agentic AI, and we know that all the super smart people working on artificial intelligence, they've got wild visions for where they think this technology is going to go. And I think a good way to view this is Mark Zuckerberg saying, we are here in the sandbox with the biggest names in the industry, and we don't want to be left out on the outside.
And yesterday, Bank of America put a buy on Meta, folks, has 765 target. That was yesterday. So I always like to talk about some of the most recent calls that came out. It's at 689 today. JD Durkin, great to see you. As always, good look there at Meta.
Turning to hardware innovation, AMD, in collaboration with OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, has unveiled its Instinct MI400 series of AI chips set for release next year. These chips are designed to be assembled into Helios rack-scale systems, allowing thousands of chips to function as a single, unified compute engine, crucial for the hyperscale demands of training and running large AI models. The MI400 series is positioned to compete directly with Nvidia's Blackwell chips, offering more high-speed memory and improved efficiency for running large language models. AMD claims the MI400 will deliver up to 10 times the inference performance on Mixture of Experts models compared to previous generations. OpenAI's Altman called the specifications unbelievable and confirmed that OpenAI will be among the first to deploy these chips, signaling a new era in AI hardware competition. Meta's innovation drive isn't limited to investments. The company has rolled out an internal AI coding assistant called DevMate, which leverages models from competitors, including Anthropic's Claude. DevMate is designed to assist engineers with complex coding tasks, an area where Meta's own Llama-based tools have lagged behind. Employees report that DevMate, powered by Claude, has significantly increased productivity, cutting some coding tasks in half and outperforming Meta's in-house models in multi-step reasoning and advanced programming challenges. This move reflects a broader industry trend where even tech giants are adopting the best tools available, regardless of origin, to optimize productivity and drive technological progress. Anthropic's Claude excels in code optimization, offering features such as performance profiling, bottleneck identification, and multi-file refactoring. The adoption of Claude by Meta underscores the growing demand for cross-platform AI solutions as companies race to build the most capable and efficient AI systems. Finally, a heated debate is unfolding at the highest levels of AI leadership. Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang has publicly disagreed with Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei's warnings about the existential risks of AI and the potential for massive job losses. Amodei has predicted that AI could automate up to half of entry-level office jobs within 5 years and has called for strict safety and transparency standards. Huang, speaking at the VivaTech conference in Paris, countered that while AI will transform the workforce, it will also create new opportunities and boost productivity.
The biggest one, of course, is the reasoning AI inference. The demand is just off the charts. You see the popularity of all these AI services now, ChatGPT, Gemini, so on and so forth, Grok. I mean, they're just doing incredibly well across the board. And all of the APIs that they serve out and all the agentic AI services that are built on top of them, they're all doing incredibly well. I think that there's just a giant breakthrough in AI's capability, and inferencing has just become a giant workload. Second, people realize that Blackwell is just a home run. NVLink 72 is a home run architecture. We designed it to be a thinking machine, a reasoning AI system. And I think people now, the confluence of the breakthrough in reasoning AI and the availability, now the emergence of Grace Blackwell NVLink 72, perfect timing. I think that's at the core, a big part of it. And the second part of it is that our supply chain is growing and we're really ramping it up and they're doing fantastically for us. And so all of these things are all coming together.
Amodei, who heads a cutting-edge AI company called Anthropic, is raising alarms tonight about AI's potential impact on employment that could soon be felt. While he says AI can lead to incredible advancements like medical breakthroughs and boost the economy, he believes it could also lead to half of entry-level white-collar jobs disappearing and 10 to 20% unemployment in the next 1 to 5 years. It's something that's been talked about within tech circles for a while, but rarely so starkly and so publicly. I spoke to him just before air about that and other implications he thinks AI may have on society. Dario, you said that AI could wipe out half of all entry-level white-collar jobs and spike unemployment to 10 to 20%. How soon might that happen?
Well, let's, well, first of all, thanks for having me on the show. But just to back up a little bit, I've been building AI for over a decade. And I think maybe the most salient feature of the technology and what is driving all of this is how fast the technology is getting better. A couple of years ago, you could say that AI models were maybe as good as a smart high school student. I would say that now they're as good as a smart college student and sort of reaching past that. I really worry, particularly at the entry level, that the AI models are very much at the center of what an entry-level human worker would do. And so it's hard to estimate, exactly what the impact would be. And there's always this question of adaptation. And these technology changes have happened before, but I think what is striking to me about this AI boom is that it's bigger and it's broader and it's moving faster than anything has before. And so compared to previous technology changes, I'm a little bit more worried about the labor impact simply because it's happening so fast that yes, people will adapt, but they may not adapt fast enough. And so there may be an adjustment period.
You are running an incredibly important company in AI, and you know this better than anybody, or as well as all the names we know, people, Sam Altman and others who are working, Elon Musk in AI. Why are you raising the alarm? Because it's not necessarily, I would think, in your best interest, because a lot of the messages we hear from, at least publicly, from some AI CEOs and stuff is a little bit more calming, like, these agents are going to be great in your life, and yes, there may be problems, but writ large, this is a fantastic thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think the reason I'm raising the alarm is that I think others haven't as much, and I think someone needs to say it. To be clear, and I recognize it's always a difficult balance, right? I'm aware of my position that I'm building this technology while also expressing concerns about it, and the reason I'm doing both of those things is, one, I think the benefits are massive, and we need to find a way to achieve benefits and mitigate or prevent the harms. And the second thing I would say is, look, there are, as you mentioned, 6 or 7 companies in the U.S. building this technology, right? If we stop doing it tomorrow, the rest would continue. If all of us somehow stopped doing it tomorrow, then China would just beat us. And I don't think China winning in this technology is, I don't think that helps anyone or makes the situation any better.
I do want to read something that Sam Altman, your former boss at OpenAI, said in September. He was saying that AI can cause significant change in labor markets, good and bad. He went on to say that most jobs will change more slowly than most people think. And then he said this, and I want to just read it word for word. He said, many of the jobs we do today would have looked like trifling wastes of time to people a few hundred years ago. But nobody is looking back at the past wishing they were a lamplighter. If a lamplighter could see the world today, he would think the prosperity all around him was unimaginable. And if we could fast forward 100 years from today, the prosperity all around us would feel just as unimaginable.
He criticized the idea of developing AI in a dark room, advocating instead for open and transparent progress. The exchange highlights the deep philosophical divides within the AI community over how to balance rapid innovation with safety and societal impact. This debate is especially relevant as Anthropic, founded by former OpenAI employees, has made safety a cornerstone of its mission, while Nvidia continues to drive the hardware that powers much of the AI revolution. The ongoing dialogue between these leaders will shape not only the technology, but also the regulatory and ethical frameworks for AI's future. That wraps up today's useful AI hacks coverage of this week's most impactful AI stories. From Meta's unprecedented investment and strategic talent acquisition to the latest breakthroughs in AI hardware, productivity tools, and high-stakes industry debates, it's clear that AI is evolving at breakneck speed. Stay tuned to Useful AI Hacks, also available on YouTube Podcast, for more updates as we continue to track the innovations and challenges shaping the future of artificial intelligence.
What kind of safety are we talking about here? Is it to prevent AIs from helping primary school kids make guns or terrorists develop biological weapons?
Exactly. We really focus on, we predefine the kind of harms that we want to make sure that we look out for. And then every time before we release any models, the models go through extensive safety testing. And we did this even with this most recent release, even more thoroughly than we had with any other model. And then any issues that we find, we either patch them or mitigate them in the models, or we add what we call classifiers so to make sure that if they do occur in the models, that those responses aren't shown to people. So it's really what we call defense in depth, where at every single layer, we're introducing controls and safety checks to make sure that these models are positive for people.
Do these safety features not get in the way of developers then?
We really try to tune this. So we look very closely at the false positive rate, meaning the times where our classifiers think they caught something, but actually it was a perfectly fine use. And we try to drive that number down as low as possible. So that's one thing we do. The other thing is when there's a customer that has a legitimate need for a particular feature of the model, we'll do additional vetting with that customer and then potentially allow them to use the model without some of those safeguards, but only if we feel very comfortable with that particular customer.
Now, Mike, you're also the co-founder of Instagram. Today, social media is rife with AI-generated content, including deepfakes and false information. How can we protect users, particularly young people, from the dangers of AI on social media?
I think especially on social media, I think there will can and probably should be a greater tendency towards what is real authentic content. So at Instagram, one of the choices we made early is only allowing photos that were uploaded from your phone rather than the web. And the reason we did that, we wanted to really focus on authentic expression. Now, it kind of feels like a early days still. That was around 2012. But I think the equivalent today is really if platforms can provide more authenticity or verification that something really was produced by a human. It's a hard technical challenge, but a one that I think is worthwhile pursuing.
Is it up to the platforms then to verify those, or can your AI model, for instance, help do that?
There's been some attempts at this. I saw Google actually publish something where you can upload content and it'll tell you if it thinks that Gemini generated it. I think we should also look at something like that, but ultimately the platforms will have to play a role as well.
Now, OpenAI, your rival, has just teamed up with Sergey Ive, the designer behind iPhones, to develop AI-powered computers. Does your company, Anthropic, have any plans to work on a physical product like that?
I think the physical area is very exciting. The way we've gone about pursuing that is much more through partnerships. So with Amazon, who are one of our backers, we partnered with them and formed part of Alexa Plus, which is their sort of incorporation of generative AI technology in hardware. And they have incredible distribution and a huge install base already. So we'll continue to pursue those kinds of partnerships. We're pretty, still a smaller company and a smaller team. So we try to be very focused on where we build in-house and where we partner.
Now, competition is heating up. There's increasing tension regarding chip exports and so forth, and trade tension in general. How does the current geopolitical situation play a part, and does it get in your way of development for you?
One thing that we've tried to do is really pursue what we call a multi-chip strategy, where we're available and we're doing both training and inference, meaning serving real user traffic on GPUs by Nvidia, but also TPUs by Google, and also Trainium from Amazon. And being multi-chip allows us to, one, be as available as we want to be, but also make sure that, when we're thinking about international politics, we're really being able to keep the right controls in place.
Large language models are becoming more powerful, which also means they're becoming hungrier for energy. There's concern over their environmental footprint. It's been a long time talked about that. What's the best way forward for you now?
I think there's a lot of places where we're finding that, especially as we think about international expansion, new data centers are often coupled with new energy projects that can be also green energy projects. I think that flywheel, is the most promising one, where especially for training, there's not a lot of reason why those training data centers need to be very close to users. They could be in places where there's more energy access and more energy availability. I think what you'll see in the next few years is large infrastructure projects building data centers in places that can have green energy.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more insights into the world of AI. See you tomorrow at 11 a.m.